Hello, hello, Facebook family. How is everyone doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful, thankful Thursday. Um, Today is obviously Thursday. I don't even know where I'm looking at. I set up my computer a little bit differently today. I don't know. I always get confused. Am I supposed to like look up here or look at the screen? I can't help but look at myself, but I don't know. If you're watching me, if I can get a like, a thumbs up, or a comment and let me know you're here, I'll give it a couple of minutes while I watch Moo Moo from the background sniffing around. I'll give it a couple of minutes for people to hop on because I know it takes a little while. And I don't want to have to repeat myself too much while I do this. So if you can hear me and you can see me okay, if you can just give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, give me a heart, let me know that you're here. Yay, I see one person seeing me. Yay. I don't know what's wrong with Mumu. She just keeps sniffing around. She's just been so weird lately. I don't know if it's the season or what, but Madam Mumu is like extra annoying right now. Hey, Emily, yay! Thanks for tuning in. And hopefully, I know my hair is a mess, guys. You know, I try and not look this bad when I'm gonna go on a live video. My mom would probably tell me to go peinarme, to go brush my hair, but you know what? I've procrastinated this long enough and I have a major headache. And so, you know, I was just like, whatever, it is what it is. I'm going live just the way I am, just the way my crazy hair is right now. Anyways, so let's get started. Many of you, or some of you, or maybe none of you, have seen probably over the last 6 to 8 weeks that I've been posting how crazy I've been going, that I've been studying and all this and that. And last week on Wednesday at 9 a.m., I posted, you know, that I had done my best and it was time to let God do the rest. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably know what I'm talking about. I don't remember if I had mentioned it here on Facebook, but I was studying to take the GMAT exam. So what is the GMAT? G-M-A-T is the Graduate Management Admission Test. So it's like the SATs, but for business school. So I had a goal. I wanted to start my master's program in the spring. And so I've been going through this process like almost the entire year of asking, of applying and talking to people to see if I could get out of taking this test based on my experience. So for those of you who don't know me, I have over 10 years of experience in operations and management. And given the fact that I've been in management for, you know, a greater part of that 10 years, I applied to be exempt from taking that ridiculous exam and hopefully save myself, you know, $250. Well, they declined my request, and so I had to take the test. The summer is a busy time of year for my program at work, so I didn't want to take it, you know, leading up to the summer because it was going to distract me. So I was going to try and get in for the spring. Well, when I called to find out what the deadline was, someone told me the wrong deadline. Then like a month later, somebody called me back and they're like, oh yeah, that was the wrong date. You can totally take it. We'll work with you on, you know, still making it through the deadline. Long story short, 6 to 8 weeks ago, I started studying for the GMAT and I was going crazy, not sleeping much, you know, still working my business, still working full time, still being a wife, still being a daughter, still, you know, living life and studying for this test. And so last Wednesday, I finally took the test. And let me explain something to you. This test is a compilation of stuff that you learn like when you're in high school. And this year we celebrated my high school 10-year reunion. So obviously this stuff is far beyond from being fresh in my mind. And on top of that, there's stuff on that test that I don't even remember learning when I was in school. Like, what are axioms and like, I don't know, weird stuff in English, you know, like sentence structure stuff. But my main concern was the mathematical portion. If you don't know, I know I haven't shared this a lot, but 3 semesters before I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I was diagnosed with a learning disability. I have ADD as well as something called a mathematical disorder, which really is annoying for one, which makes me hate math. Not money, math. But 2, it's always been a struggle for me. So no matter how much tutoring I've gotten in the past, no matter how hard I worked, no matter what I did, I could always like barely scratch by in a math course. I would usually take a math course 2 and 3 times before I was able to pass it. And, you know, I paid most of my way through my bachelor's program, and it took someone 7 years to finally decide, like, notice that there was something going on with me, that even though I seemed to be a very good student in other subjects like math, repeatedly gave me issues. So I got tested, and yes, I have a learning disability, and I can honestly tell you I was never so happy to hear that I was disabled in my life, like when I got the results from that test, because it finally gave me validation that it wasn't that I wasn't working hard enough, it wasn't that I wasn't smart, it wasn't that, you know, I wasn't doing my best, it was just that I learn differently. And so I don't see my learning disability always necessarily as a disadvantage. I've just come to understand that my way of learning is different. My way of learning does not fit in a box, okay? Also in the test that I took, you know, other than the ADD and the mathematical disorder, I have testing anxiety, which makes me a very poor test taker. Like, so mind you, let me set this up for you. So I have to take this SAT type of test to get into the master's program. You have to pay $250. Then it's a lot of math, because they decide to use math as a way to figure out if you can reason like a normal person, which obviously I can't. And then it's a test. So math and test and a lot of math. I requested accommodations. I requested accommodations because luckily you can, you know, if you have a disability, you can request special accommodations to try and make testing as easy as possible for you. So instead of it being a 3.5-hour test, I got additional time. So I got 50% extra time, which meant my test time, I actually had 6 hours to take the test instead of 3.5. Now you can look at that one of 2 ways. You can look at, wow, that's awesome, you get more time on the test. Yes, which should reduce your testing anxiety. But given the nature of these questions, 6 hours is an insane amount of time to be sitting at a computer taking a test. So whatever. I looked up YouTube videos, I studied the best that I could, but remember, I was already working against the clock. I didn't have as much time. Some people spend 4 to 6 months. The average time is usually like 3 to 4 months studying for this test, and this is for a person who doesn't have a disability. I'm going into it like, okay, 6 weeks, I gotta get this done. And mind you, this was my decision. You know, I could have said, oh, you know what? No, I don't think that I can do it, but I'm not a quitter, and I'm a person who, for better or worse, I enjoy challenges. So I was just like, you know what? If they're giving me a call and giving me an opportunity to still submit my test scores, and they're saying that they're going to work with me, why not give it a chance? Because you really never know what might happen. This could work in my favor. So I studied, I did the best that I could. the night before the test, you know, I took a couple of days off of work. Thank God I have a very supportive team behind me, and my boss has been amazing, an amazing support system for me, and guiding me through this process as well. So the day before the test, you know, I kind of tried to not study as much. Like I studied throughout the day, but then I shut it down early. I worked out. The next day I got up, I dressed up. Yes, because instead of like going in sweatpants and a sweatshirt, you know, how you dress and how you present yourself, that's going to affect your energy. That's going to affect how you see yourself going into a certain situation. So I dressed up and I went and I started taking my test. I tested from 10 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. That's when I finished. I felt really good during the exam. I felt confident. I had packed all of my snacks, right? Because you get breaks, and that was another one of the accommodations I got. I got a couple of extra minutes on the breaks. So I felt very confident and I felt good. And when I came out, they give you your unofficial score. And I was shocked. I really was. The score was not at all what I anticipated. And you know, I've been procrastinating doing this video. Originally, my intention was to do it like the next day, and then the next day turned into the next day, and then here we are. It's officially been a week from yesterday, and I hadn't done this video because I was embarrassed. That's the truth. I was embarrassed. And when I got my score, you know, I was okay. I was surprisingly okay. Like, I was just like, oh, okay, this is not at all what I expected. Like this is okay. All right. But you know what? I had decided, and this is all from my heart here. Before I even took the test, I had already decided that I was a winner. I had already decided that this test, no matter the outcome, was not going to define me. I had already decided that regardless of whatever score was on there, I was going to submit it, because, you know, they actually give you a chance. Once you're done with the test, you have 2 minutes to decide if you want to cancel the score or if you want to still send it to your school, to the school that you've chosen. If you cancel the school will never know you took the exam. You know, there'll be a record that you took the exam, but, you know, it's as if you never took it. Only you will know your initial score. If you send it, then, you know, the school gets the score and that's it. I had already decided before I took the test that regardless of the outcome, I was going to show the school that I tried, that I gave it my best. Because I've been in communication with people from the school since May. And, you know, people have been working on helping me and working with me on deadlines. And I've been letting them know, hey, like, I'm still waiting to be able to test. You know, they haven't confirmed my dates and all this and that. And I didn't want whoever's been dealing with me to think that I've just been stringing them along and then that I backed out at the last minute. Because what would that do? So when I saw the score, I was disappointed. It was an unofficial score. I was disappointed, but I wasn't heartbroken. And I wasn't angry, and I wasn't beating myself up. And I'm proud of myself for that. Because had I done this test last year, or had I done this test 2 years ago, I would have probably gone dark and not spoken about it and just pretended it never happened. Sitting here today, making this video has been hard, not because I didn't want to share it with you guys, because I've already shared, because I share so much of my life, but it's hard because I know that so many people have been supporting me through this journey, because so many people messaged me, you know, via Messenger and via text and comments on my thread, supporting me and sending good energy and sending prayers and sending love. And I honestly felt so supported in this process, and people had so much confidence in that I was going to get a great score. So many people had more confidence than what I had in myself in getting a great score. So that's why making this video took me a little longer than I originally anticipated, because when I anticipated making this video, I always thought that I was going to be making this video saying, yay, you know, like I got the score that I needed, I got the score that I wanted, and not being able to share, you know, that the result was positive, numerically speaking, was very hard, because I felt like I let you guys down. Like I let people that were cheering me on and supporting me, like, and praying for me, that I let you guys down. But I know that that's not true. I know that you guys love me regardless and support me regardless. And this is all a journey. And I'm proud that I took the test. I'm proud of every single thing that I did. You know, all of the nights, you know, I'm so grateful for my husband. You know, I've been talking his ear off about this damn test for 2 months, not going to bed until 2 and 3 in the morning and still waking up, and him supporting me so much around the house as he usually does. But, you know, and even knowing when to check me and be like, hey, like, relax, you got this, you'll be okay. And regardless if you get the score or not, like, you're still awesome, you're still amazing. So mindset is everything. I had gone into the test deciding, like, already with the mindset that this test does not define me, and regardless of the outcome, I am still successful. I have an amazing career. I have an amazing family. I have an amazing business. I inspire others. I motivate others. And I don't need a degree to tell me that. I don't need someone else or a piece of paper or a number on a test to tell me what my potential is. So maybe, you know, I will probably take the test again sometime next year. I'm taking a little bit of a break for now, giving my brain time to reset. I'm not quitting. It's not quitting. On the contrary, I have a much clearer vision now. You know, I will probably take the test again, but now I've opened up my mind to so many other options and opportunities that are out there for me. And so many times when we have something in our minds, you know, we're kind of just like, we have tunnel vision, we don't realize other things that are out there. Choose the biggest thing. One of the biggest things that I can definitely take away from this experience is, you know, you have to choose how you're going to react and choose how you're going to feel about a situation before you're even in it. And in hindsight, I've always been like this. You know, even as a teenager, I had non-negotiables. You know, I already knew, you know, as a teenager that, for example, you know, if someone ever presented me with drugs, that I would never try drugs because it was just not something that aligned with me. It was not something that I was interested in. It wasn't something that aligned with me. You know, if someone presented me with something that was against what I believed in and what I was convicted in, then I already knew what my response and my reaction was going to be. And now I see how those same patterns of thought unconsciously, because I didn't realize it, have set me up to not beat myself up so bad over a quote unquote failure. So there are a couple of parts to the GMAT exam. There's the quantitative, there's the verbal, there's the integrated reasoning, and then there's something called the analytical writing assessment. So even though I got a disappointing score in the 3 other regular, parts of the test, I got an excellent score in my writing because I'm a strong writer. And when given the opportunity to express myself in writing or verbally, I can excel. And so I got that score yesterday because that score is actually graded by a human, not a computer. And I felt even better about my experience. So with that being said, I didn't intend for it to go this long, but it did. I just wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for every one of your texts, your DMs, your watching my stories, for your comments, for your hearts, for cheering me on. Because honestly, if I, this was a very difficult process. And I'm not going to say that I was positive 100% of the time, but seeing so many people stand behind me, not only my family, but now my extended family, my extended friends, my success partner, thanks, Emily, my coach, my business coach, Vanessa has been an amazing support system for me. And just like all of you have played a part in helping me throughout this process and this journey. So, what are the next steps? The score, it went off. It's at the school. My application will be reviewed by a committee. I am grateful that I have very strong letters of recommendation. And, I can only hope and pray that the people reviewing my file realize that this test does not define me. This test is not an accurate measure of how successful I will be in the program if they let me in. But, if I get a positive response from the school, I will definitely share it. If you don't hear anything else about this subject until I'm studying again, then you obviously know I won't be starting school in the spring. But thanks again for all the love, the prayers, the support, and I feel so much better now that I've ripped this Band-Aid right off. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. Bye.